Hello, and thanks for joining us today. We're excited to share some updates on how we at Logitech continue to innovate and solve some of the biggest challenges for hybrid work. Today, we'll cover two big topics. First, we'll share how we are solving the challenges around equitable meetings, which remains the most important problem we need to fix for organizations with distributed teams. We'll give you an update on Logitech Sight, our innovative tabletop camera that levels the playing field for remote participants, which we announced last fall. And we'll unveil another exciting new conference room device, an expansion of the Rally Bar family. Second, we'll cover our approach to solving the challenges around flexible work. One of the biggest challenges of hybrid work is getting people back to the office. A number of companies are mandating that workers return to the office. But what are they supposed to do when they're back there? If it's just to sit at their desk doing the same video meetings that they were doing at home, many workers would prefer to stay at home or quit and find a more flexible employer. On one of my recent customer visits, I heard a phrase that I loved. We need to earn the commute. The assumption was that mandates will ultimately not work if a worker does not see value in being in an office over time. Think about this scenario. It's a weekend, and you're thinking about going downtown to a restaurant. Did they mandate for you to go there and not cook at home? Of course not. That's ridiculous. You'll travel into the city because it's fun to be there. There's a buzz of being with other people, sharing a meal with folks you enjoy spending time with, the excitement of getting out of the house. There is no mandate to return to restaurants, and we need that kind of thinking to entice people back to the office as something they ultimately want to do, because working and socializing together in person is a great source of workplace happiness. So we need to reimagine office design, reimagine how it's organized. One thing that rings true for many is that they won't be coming into the office 5 days a week anymore. So the whole idea of having an assigned desk should largely go away. But if that's the case, what will replace it? Most solutions today have focused on part of the problem, and they're either incomplete or clunky. We took a blank sheet of paper and asked what we could do with a combination of services and equipment to solve this problem. And the result? Well, you'll be among the first to see two exciting new products later today. So let's get started with equitable meetings. And to walk you through it, I'd like to hand you over to Hayley.
Thank you, Scott. As you know, equitable meetings are about giving people the ability to see and be seen, hear and be heard, and to collaborate effectively regardless of location. Our approach to making video meetings that much better is a combination of hardware, software, and tight integration with our partners. Last October, we introduced Logitech Sight, our AI-powered tabletop camera system that works together with our award-winning Rally Bar and Rally Bar Mini for a superior front and center experience. Sight is compatible with Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, and Zoom, and provides a completely new perspective to video meetings by using AI, so remote participants feel as if they actually have a seat at the table. Our groundbreaking approach to video meetings puts human connection at the center of remote collaboration. We have over 50 customers using Logitech Sight today, and we've had really positive feedback, as well as industry-wide recognition for our front and center approach to meeting equity. The question we get the most is, when can I get my hands on one? Well, we're excited to announce today that we've already started working on certifications with our partners, and Logitech Sight is on track to ship later this summer. Sight runs on Collab OS, our purpose-built operating system for our family of collaboration devices. We built Collab OS to make devices work together seamlessly, make them super easy to deploy and manage, and get better over time with a steady release of software updates. Late last year, we introduced Grid View, where we optimize the space on screen and show participants more clearly. We're continuing to integrate Grid View into more types of deployments, like Zoom Multistream and Microsoft's IntelliFrame experiences on Windows and Android. Soon, we'll release a new feature called Camera Zone, which will be available for Rally Bar and Rally Bar Mini. With this feature, you can specify an area for the camera to actively detect and frame meeting participants reducing distractions, and ensuring that only the relevant activity within the specified area is captured. As always, you can configure and manage updates like these through Sync, which has update channels and group control, including test channels. We released many other CollabOS features over the last year that make our entire lineup of collaboration devices work better for you and your organization. Now, let's dive into our video bars and the meeting spaces they serve. As offices transition, there's a greater expectation that all spaces should be video equipped. We're seeing a growing number of small meeting spaces for impromptu get-togethers with distributed teams. And the experience in these spaces should be just as good as it is in your larger rooms. Today, we're excited to announce a new addition to our Rally Bar family of products, purpose-built for these smaller spaces that we believe will offer the best huddle room solution. Say hello to Rally Bar Huddle. Rally Bar Huddle rounds out our family of all-in-one video bars to deliver an easy, consistent video conferencing experience to huddle in small rooms. And to tell you about it, I'd like to hand it over to my friend June.
Thank you, Hayley. We designed Rally Bar Huddle to deliver on 3 key principles: make video meetings in small and huddle spaces more equitable, create a device that is easy to deploy at scale, and introduce new and innovative features to the Rally family. Let's start with more equitable. These days, over 75% of meetings are taking place over video with at least one remote participant. Ensuring all participants can be seen and heard is a top priority. Rally Bar Huddle is purpose-built for small rooms and huddle spaces, with digital pan and tilt and remarkable image quality with up to 4 times digital zoom. It's not just the hardware specs that make for great meetings. Smarter software and integrations allow for more choice. With RightSight, you get built-in intelligence for better video experiences like speaker view, grid view, and also seamless integration with Zoom's Smart Gallery and Microsoft's IntelliFrame. Rally Bar Huddle comes with 6 beamforming microphones and a pickup range of up to 23 feet. Up to 6 people in a huddle room can be heard clearly without the need for mic pods. Plus, sound output has been dramatically improved with up to 2 times the output of MeetUp. And of course, Rally Bar Huddle is built on CollabOS, which means that we will continuously improve the meeting experience with free software updates. Moving on, Rally Bar Huddle is easy to deploy at scale. We designed Rally Bar Huddle so you can take it out of the box and have the meeting room up and running in minutes. It comes with an included mount, so you can easily install it on a wall, a table, or a display with simple and secure cable management. It works with Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, and Zoom, and in supported configurations, you can instantly pair it to a TAP IP and finish your room deployment on your platform of choice within minutes. You can easily manage Rally Bar Huddle through Logitech Sync, monitor room health, deploy updates, and modify settings all from a single cloud-based platform. And with Sync Insights, you can see how meeting spaces are used over time. Rally Bar Huddle can be deployed as an appliance, with a PC, or in BYOD scenarios. And the best part is that it will be aggressively priced for wide adoption. Huddle is the 3rd product in our Rally Bar lineup, and with it, we're introducing brand new features to the Rally family. Rally Bar Huddle comes with an automated, built-in privacy shutter that elegantly opens and closes when a meeting starts and ends. We also built in an innovative magnetic removable cover that comes in different flavors. Graphite comes standard in the box, or you can choose the off-white color for a distinctive look in the meeting room. We also offer a brand new Easy Clean cover designed for specialty settings. This makes a great option for education and healthcare settings. Having a replaceable front cover creates opportunities to customize and better integrate technology with space design. We are working with several furniture companies to do just that. And today, we're excited to share our first solution with our friends at Heckler Design. We've worked together to create covers that better match your environment and decor. With technology that can seamlessly blend away, it puts people first. Heckler will offer various options, including custom designs this fall. And this one is my favorite. Imagine how friendly animal characters transform a pediatric medical setting. And lastly, we're excited about what we've built with Rally Bar Huddle. But what we are most proud of is how we built it. Rally Bar Huddle is made from 42% post-consumer recycled plastic, making it our most sustainable video bar yet. So that's Rally Bar Huddle, our newest addition to our Rally Bar family of products. It will be available in July, and we can't wait for you to experience it yourself. Now back to you, Hayley.
I couldn't agree with you more, June. Rally Bar Huddle packed so much innovation into a tiny package. It's the latest addition to our portfolio of video bars, each designed to enable the right collaboration experience for every space. Beyond video bars, we have an exceptional collection of add-on devices that you can customize to make the most of your spaces. And we have a comprehensive software layer that will continue making our products simple to use, fast to deploy, and easy to manage. So there you have it. We've got a multi-layered approach to solving for meeting equity, and we're excited to continue partnering with you in new ways. Let's transition now to our second big topic of the day, flexible work. This past year, we conducted research with over 1,000 people who work at home to get a better understanding of the situation. We learned that hybrid workers are largely under-equipped. Many are still using legacy desktop tools provided to them pre-pandemic, or they're using devices bought on impulse when they move to a work-from-home setup. The problem is these devices aren't optimized for hybrid work. Here's what we found. People are still struggling. In fact, over 80% of participants reported they struggle with audio and video issues. A comparable number struggle with ergonomics. Working from home often involves long hours of typing, back-to-back virtual meetings, or trying to pull off an important presentation. The good news is these are solvable problems. We are the market leader in personal workspace solutions, and we have a comprehensive portfolio to address this. You may have heard that Logitech makes mice and keyboards. Our portfolio is designed to increase productivity and improve comfort for those with the most basic computing needs to those who are more specialized, like software developers or creatives, and for those with ergonomic needs. We are also leading on webcams and headsets, so everyone can see and be seen, hear and be heard clearly. Take our newest webcam, Brio 305. It features beautiful design and a built-in privacy shutter. And I'm excited to share that my personal favorite headset, the Zone Vibe Wireless, is now Microsoft Teams certified. Lastly, Logi Dock. It continues to collect accolades. Our all-in-one dock with speakerphone and meeting controls was recently awarded an entry on the list of Time Magazine's 100 Best Inventions of 2022. And to make it easier for you to monitor and manage all these devices remotely, we've recently added mice and keyboards to the list of devices managed in sync. In sum, for the last 8 years, we've been on a journey to create simple-to-use and easy-to-manage enterprise solutions that serve all people, all spaces. We're truly a one-stop shop for all your needs around personal workspace, team workspace, and now we are excited to share that we are extending into a third space, flexible workspace, with a solution for shared desks. These days, booking a desk at the office isn't easy, and it's increasingly pressing to enable employees to flow from home to work. Today, we are announcing a brand new solution to help you do this. To tell you more about it, I'd like to hand it over to Henry.
Thanks, Hayley. The pandemic has brought with it a big opportunity to rethink how and where people work. Many companies will agree that in some combination of in-office and remote work is what you need to build a culture based on trust and connection, while also giving employees the flexibility to do the work from wherever they think they're most effective. This new working model is having a profound impact on workplace strategies, and we find many of our customers are asking us for advice. Executives are taking a hard look at the needs of the business. On one side, you have the CFOs coming in and seeing tons of empty desks and asking if the company even needs that office. On the other side, you have CEOs and HR teams thinking about modernizing the office to foster new ways of collaborating. Many companies are adapting by converting assigned desks into bookable spaces. This approach, which some call hot desking or hoteling, allows employees to book a desk when they need one and next to the people they want to sit by. At the same time, it allows companies to optimize their real estate footprint, reduce costs, and minimize their impact on the environment. However, deploying a flex desk strategy is difficult, and the challenges typically revolve around 3 problem areas. Let's start with insights. One of the biggest challenges companies face in right-sizing their real estate footprint is having accurate data on space utilization. Sometimes the office is empty, other times there's lots of people. But how can we understand patterns over time? To get this data, companies are looking at several different approaches. The most common is using an app-based solution, often paired with QR codes. This is certainly an easy to deploy and cost-effective option. But the data will only be as accurate as the employee's willingness to scan QR codes. Now, I don't know about you, but scanning a QR code is not the first thing I think about when I get to the office. Alternatively, you can supplement the QR codes with data from employee badge systems. This takes out the user involvement part of the equation, but it still doesn't answer the basic questions. How are your spaces being used? Are people actually sitting down and using the shared desks? Or are they avoiding desks and instead using communal areas? Maybe they're just taking over meeting rooms and turning them into team spaces for the day. For accurate data, you could consider deploying IoT sensors. These devices automate data collection, so employees don't need to worry about scanning or checking in, and they can be placed wherever data needs to be captured. However, this approach can be cost prohibitive, especially if you're installing sensors in ceilings. Plus, these are single-purpose devices. They don't do much more than collect data. Furthermore, they often require additional device management portals, which just adds more complexity. The second problem area is telemetry. Pre-pandemic, we all had assigned desks, and they were our responsibility. If something didn't work or went missing, we were responsible for solving that problem. In a shared space environment, things are different. No one owns them. And if no one owns them, in most companies, that means IT does, just like conference rooms. Now imagine someone makes a 1-hour commute, gets to their desk, and nothing works. Who do you think they're going to blame? IT. This scenario is particularly true for those deploying flex desks with multiple parts. Imagine a dock, a monitor, and maybe a webcam. If anything gets disconnected or lost, IT won't know until it's too late. Alternatively, you can deploy an all-in-one monitor and have some of these things built in. But who wants to use those built-in cameras? And what happens when you need to update the firmware of that monitor? We've already solved this problem with conference rooms. When a mic pod gets disconnected, you get an alert. And when a firmware update is made available, it's super easy to mass deploy it. Shouldn't we apply the same level of awareness and convenience to managing desks? Our third area of focus is the social element. And that is the most important thing to get right. To earn the commute, we need to make offices buzz with energy and facilitate connections with friends and colleagues. The office can be a place where teams create a shared collective experience and develop a deeper sense of trust. This is how new ideas come to light. But what's the best way to coordinate time together? Well, at some companies, employees organize time in the office by messaging each other or adding notes to their calendars. And that's okay for small teams, but it's not really a scalable solution. We've been working on something that addresses all of these problem areas, and I'd like to play a short video to introduce you to it. Pretty cool, right? Our solution addresses the challenges of both telemetry and insights while infusing the social network aspect of work into your strategy. At the center of the experience is Logi Dock Flex, our purpose-built managed dock for shared desks. Logi Dock Flex is a full-featured dock that provides up to 100 watts of power and supports up to 2 4K displays. It has 3 USB ports on the front, making it convenient for users to connect their headsets or thumb drives. On the back, you'll find 3 additional USB ports and an upstream port, as well as a 1 gigabit Ethernet connection. Cables are routed neatly through built-in channels that provide cable retention, making sure all connections are safe and secure. Users connect Logi Dock Flex to their laptop using a single USB-C connection. The same connection is also used to seamlessly check the user in. No need to scan QR codes. Beyond being a great dock, Logi Dock Flex is a Collab OS device, which means it was purpose-built for remote management and monitoring. We started Logitech Sync with meeting room devices. We extended it to personal devices. And now we're including Flex desks. Using Logitech Sync, you can now have a real-time status of all your Flex desks and the peripherals attached to them. Updating Logi Dock Flex is simple. 1 click and you can update your entire fleet and many Logitech peripherals attached to them. With Sync Insights, you'll have detailed views on how your Flex desks are being used over time and be better positioned to facilitate conversations around policies with other stakeholders in your organization. Best of all, just like Tap Scheduler for meeting rooms, Logi Dock Flex will support multiple service providers to give you choice and flexibility. Today, I'm excited to announce that we plan to support Zoom Workspace Reservation, Microsoft, and Logitech's own desk booking service. With Microsoft, we are bringing the familiar Teams room booking experience to Flex desks. Just as you'd walk up to the Teams room and use Tap Scheduler to book it, you can walk up to a Flex desk and use Logi Dock Flex to claim the space with a single tap. Then simply plug in and get going. If you prefer to book in advance, you can just easily use the Outlook or Teams client to book a Flex desk as you would a Teams room. Employees are going to love this consistent experience from Teams rooms to Flex desks. With Zoom Workspace Reservation, you can easily find and reserve your ideal workspace from meeting rooms to desks with Logi Dock Flex and Tap Scheduler. You can use the Zoom app to view your office plan and see what spaces are available, or even better, use Zoom Smart Suggestions to find a desk based on your habits. Zoom can also suggest a spot that is close to the colleagues that you often collaborate with. Additionally, you can deploy Zoom Kiosk with Logitech Roommate to make it easier for employees to find a desk using digital signage in the office. We will expand Logi Dock Flex by adding more platform partners, providing you with even greater choice and flexibility. But for organizations that are platform agnostic or have a mixed platform environment, we will offer our own service as an available option. To tell you more about this, I'll hand it over to Johannes.
Thanks, Henry. We set out to completely rethink the desk booking experience from the ground up. We wanted to bring excitement, effortlessness, and most importantly, put people and personal connections at the center of the experience. Let's say I'm thinking of going to the office today, and I want to book a desk. I could do this on my laptop using the Tune Desktop app, or on my phone with the Tune mobile app. Let me show you how I do it on my phone. I'll just launch the Tune app, and then from the home screen, I can simply tap the book button. Here I get presented with 2 options. I can book by location and preferences or near a teammate. I want to pick a desk in an area that I really like, and Tune uses my preferences to automatically suggest one that fits me. I can pull up details and see the technology that is available at the desk, as well as which of my teammates have reservations at desks nearby. Alternatively, I can move around and tap directly on the map to see who else is going to be in the office today. Once I book a desk, I see a list of everyone I added to my teammates network, and I can select the people I want to notify. I'm currently working on a project with Alex and Betsy, so let me ping them and see if they want to hang out for the day. Cool. Working together with people is a great source of workplace happiness, and for many of us, the primary reason we go into the office. That's why we're putting people at the center of this experience. We use the top layer of the home screen to show which teammates have made desk reservations throughout the week. I can tap on different days and see which teammates will be in the office. We think this is a key feature that will encourage people to go back to the office on days they might not have been considering going. If I decide to go into the office based on a specific teammate being on site, I can simply piggyback off of that person's reservation to book a desk close by for the same time. When I get to the office, I can simply tap my reservation and see it on the map to see where my desk is located. From there, Logi Dock Flex makes it super easy to find the desk I booked for the day. I can identify my desk and then plug in a single USB-C cable to my laptop and get automatically checked in and authenticated because Tune Desktop carries my identity. Now, to make the desk feel like home, I can use Logi Dock Flex as my personal photo frame, or I can use photography or art that matches my desktop background. Once I start working and using the real estate on the desk monitor, I still have a convenient and persistent way to look at my calendar and upcoming meetings. And we're bringing one-touch join to Logi Dock Flex, which means I'll get a visual notification when a meeting is about to start. I can just tap a button to join and the meeting is launched on the desk monitor. One of my favorite things about Logi Dock Flex is that when I unplug to bring my laptop to an in-person meeting, I can leave behind a personal away message and my reservation is kept for me while I'm away. Then, once I'm done for the day and I check out, the desk becomes clearly available for the next person. We put great care in designing an amazing Flex desk experience, and we put an equal amount of effort into giving organizations the right tools to manage Flex desk deployments. To that end, we're extending sync from device management to space management. In addition to meeting rooms and personal devices, we're adding a third grouping called Flex desks. Logi Dock Flex is a CollabOS device, so it shows up and behaves just like your meeting room equipment. You get to see real-time data, not only about the device itself, but also Logitech devices that are plugged into that specific desk. You'll even be able to verify firmware versions and push updates to downstream devices. You can also conveniently set workplace policies right from sync. For example, how far in advance do we want to allow reservations? Should we make some desks available for walk-ins? Or should we give people from different departments access to desks in different areas? There are many available policy options within settings, and those are complemented by the Insights tab, where you can be the first to know how your Flex desks are being used. You'll see which desks are being used the most and which ones are used the least, and you'll have a clear picture of overall occupancy. And just like with meeting rooms, you can drill down into any specific desk to have greater insight at a granular level. All of this data can help you move away from conversations around anecdotal observations to a place where workspace management decisions are informed by accurate data. We're giving you detailed telemetry, easy policy setting, and meaningful insights. And we're giving people the simplicity of a single cable connection, the ability to make the desk feel personal, and the convenience of a persistent calendar with one-touch join. We believe that the combination of Tune, Sync, and Logi Dock Flex gives enterprises the most comprehensive FlexDesk solution. But we're also making our desk booking service available as a free standalone service. I'm happy to announce that Logi Dock Flex will be available in the fall of 2023, and our standalone desk booking service is available now, and you can sign up for beta starting today. Pretty cool, right? That's it for me. Now back to you, Scott.
Thanks, Johannes. And great work, team. You did just an amazing job. I hope you can see and feel the passion of the team around inspired innovation and working to solve some of hybrid work's biggest problems. We continue to make great strides in solving the challenges around equitable meetings. Our site camera is now close to market delivery, and Rally Bar Huddle will bring equitable meetings to more small spaces everywhere. I'm also really proud of our new offerings for flexible work. Logi Dock Flex is a one-of-a-kind product designed based on years of speaking to customers about how they want to work. Our desk booking service is a key companion to make Logi Dock Flex even better. And for the first time, we are launching a cloud service that does not require Logi equipment, a move we expect will disrupt the market. So, this ends our presentation part of the event. Now let's open it up to your questions. Here we go.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our live Q&A. I'm really excited to hear about the questions from you and engage in some great conversations about our new products and enabling flexible work with our panelists today. So first, I'd like to take a moment to welcome our panel back, introducing John Skehan, Director of Product Management and Product Lead for Logi Dock Flex, and also welcoming back Henry, June, and Scott for our conversations today. So as a reminder, if you'd like to submit any of your questions, please use the right-hand side to do so, and our team will either answer immediately or we'll prop it up for the panel to discuss. So maybe to start things off, Scott, Logitech has been in the video conferencing space for quite a number of years, and we're leading in many ways in the video conferencing space. What made you think about expanding outside meeting rooms into workspace management and flex desks?
Well, I'm sure for people who are listening and thinking about us as purely video conferencing, yeah, this may look like it's a little bit out of left field. But if you think about us as being a leader in hybrid work, I think it makes a little bit more sense. So obviously, we've been spending a lot of time focusing on equitable meetings, making that experience better. But when you think about some of these big problems that you need to solve around hybrid work, clearly this idea of flexible desks and figuring out how do you use the space better is a huge problem. So I think we just looked at that and said it's a very logical extension to move out of the room and leverage the fact that we're very strong on the desk already with all of our desktop peripherals. So I think that's why it was a natural extension, even though it looks like it's maybe a very different departure for us, pretty natural.
Right, when I think of our people-centric, design-focused philosophy to designing solutions for a lot of the problems out there and tackling hybrid work, I think desk booking and Logi Dock Flex is a natural transition to that, to what you're saying. John, can you speak for a moment about the solution that we've introduced today, kind of the joint hardware and software solution that is Logi Dock Flex and the cloud-based service? How is that radically different from anything else in the market today?
Sure, so thank you. So Logi Dock Flex and Logitech Desk Booking. These two were developed really with starting from a blank slate and saying, how can we make this a more streamlined, more easy experience, more data rich for our facilities and IT members, but also just a fundamentally better experience for the end user. And so, starting from that blank slate, we effectively built purpose-built hardware and software to solve many of the challenges, from the ease of booking to really being able to make sure that the analytics or the insights that pull out are truly accurate. Meaning, maybe I should frame it a little bit different, but I'll just say, by making it an effortless solution for check-in, just by plugging in a single USB-C connection, we ensure that we get really rich data and insights. Actually, I'll pass it to my friends here. Henry, if you want to add.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those are great call outs. Maybe the other one I would add is around the personalization aspect of it. When we all had desks, we personalized them. We had pictures of our kids, like I have 3, so there's 3 photos on my desk, and maybe some of my objects. And so once we moved over to flex desking at Logitech, these things kind of went away, and so the personalization went away with these desks. And one of the ideas we had was, how do we use technology to kind of just bring that personality back into our workspace, even if it's temporary? So by having that nice 8-inch display, we're able to go beyond just giving you a status of the desk, but allow you to customize it. So like pictures of my kids are back on my desk with Logi Dock Flex, but then also my calendar and events like that can show up. So there's an element of insights, telemetry, which is critical, but the personalization of it, I think, is at the same level of importance.
Yeah, I think adding on to that, the consistent experience as well, like not only from the single cable to join and connect to all the peripherals, but that I'm tapping really easily into booking and claiming that shared space from rooms to now flex desks as well.
Definitely.
I think we were also told by end customers and partners that the flexible desk experience was pretty annoying for end users. And we were talking to a lot of partners and they're saying, if only we had a device, and then they would describe it over the years that did this, this, and this. And we were smiling because I think we had the idea of what it would be. So I think it came out of years of both end users complaining about how hard it is and how annoying it is, but also from our partners who are in the desk booking business saying, if only I had something to connect to that would make it easier to connect. And I think a lot of our inspiration came out of that.
Well, when it comes to end user experience and making that really easy and easy to adopt as well, John or Henry, could you speak to how we make the experience of booking really easy with LogiTune and making sure that there's very little change management when it comes to employee behavior?
Sure. So I'll take it. So LogiTune, first of all, we have already integrated with calendars at the desktop and on the mobile app. Now we capture preferences and the awareness of your mapping within the office, where your colleagues are, which days they're in. So really, you can very simply either rely on your preferences and it's one touch to book a desk and it's simple as that, or you can find when your colleagues are going to be in and co-locate, make sure that when you're in the office, they're in the office, because ultimately no one wants to just go in the office to be in the office. They want to be there with their colleagues and be able to collaborate.
Maybe I'll add to that. Part of what we did with Logi Dock Flex is something unique and novel. Is really made it multi-platform. So of course we have our desk booking software, but as we discussed, we have partnerships with both Zoom and Teams in order to integrate their workspace experience on those devices. And so part of making the experience seamless for the user is to not create multiple experiences. So if you're in the Zoom ecosystem, you can use the Zoom application to reserve the desk. If you're in the Teams ecosystem, it's as easy as reserving a Teams room today. And so part of it is creating kind of choice and flexibility in the solution. So if your platform is based into a specific kind of world, like the Teams world, we're not creating yet another experience, yet another way of reserving or checking in. It's kind of native to that platform.
Right. Give the employees the existing experience and apps that they're already using.
Exactly.
Totally, that makes sense. June, maybe pivoting to you in terms of other exciting new announcements with Rally Bar Huddle. In terms of purpose-built for smaller spaces, there's a question from David in the crowd here about how Rally Bar Huddle compares versus MeetUp or Rally Bar Mini. What is the use case for Huddle specifically?
Yeah, so I think where Huddle is slightly different from MeetUp is the ability to manage it and be able to see some of these insights that we're talking about when a call is taking place, when the room is in use, and to be able to have those insights via sync is something that we can do with Huddle. So if there's customers who are in BYOD mode, that is something that you can still do with Huddle. You'll have the additional insights, though, that sync can bring.
Maybe the one thing I'd add is the other, the big kind of enhancement to it compared to MeetUp is the appliance mode that we added. So being able to take a Rally Bar Huddle from a kind of a BYOD configuration and upgrading it to a Teams room on Android or a Zoom room on an appliance is relatively trivial because you already have most of what you need in that room. All you need is essentially a controller. So you have that kind of forward-looking capability, so you're able to feel assured that your investment in this device will be sound today, but also in the future.
And not only is it, not only is it better than a MeetUp in many ways, but it's actually less expensive when you factor in the cost of having a computer in the room. So for those people who have computers there, they don't need to have that anymore as an option. So it could be actually not only better, like June said, but even more cost effective. And part of what we want to do is drive down the cost and complexity for all these solutions so that you can really put Rally Bar Huddle into every single room. That was our vision. I think June, you and the team really nailed it.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, well, when it comes to ongoing efforts and upgrades, Rally Bar Huddle, I know, is compatible with Logitech Sync from a device management standpoint. June, can you speak to how that also makes it super easy or kind of future-proof when it comes to manageability and updates and the longevity of Huddle?
Right, so part of our strategy is to make sure that these investments can endure, right? And so we do that through the software updates and to add new features and to enhance the experience through software updates. So we're doing that with Huddle, obviously, and so as an organization grows and changes, they can go from BYOD, they can go into appliance mode for Teams and for Zoom, and have this one device that can endure those changes.
When it comes to BYOD, appliance mode, we're talking about deployability here, and deployability and how Huddle is really built for smaller spaces. Are there other interesting use cases you've heard about or spoken to customers of using Rally Bar Huddle beyond smaller meeting spaces?
Oh, for sure. So as we've talked with customers, we see definitely an application in healthcare settings. So that's, we announced our cleanable cover. That's where that becomes very useful. Clinical settings, so in hospital rooms, doctor's offices for telemedicine. We also see applications in executive spaces. So there are some larger exec spaces that have separate meeting areas within that room. So to have the huddle in that space and set up in kind of a smaller setting, it can be great in that application as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited for all the potential that Huddle can bring to not only meeting spaces, but a variety of different collaboration spaces.
For sure.
Great. Henry, maybe a question for you when it comes to our existing portfolio and what's up ahead. What are the plans for Site in particular, which we announced last year, for Site to be integrated with Teams, with Zoom, with even Google Meet?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. So we announced Site, I think actually here in the studio not long ago, and we had amazing feedback. And since then, we've launched our kind of early beta testing with over 50 customers, and now we're getting actual usage feedback back. And the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. It really validates the idea we've been talking about with needing multiple cameras in bigger spaces. So really where the team's at right now is we're collecting real-world data, we're incorporating it, making the product not just good, but great. And we've already kickstarted the certification process. So we're working with both Microsoft, Zoom, and Google to get these devices certified so it could be officially a certified configuration in all the ecosystems. I'm expecting that to happen in the next couple of months, and we'll have some more great announcements to announce in the not too distant future.
You can even pre-order it, right?
I believe you can at Logitech.com.
Yeah.
That's right. Pre-order your Site today. Well, when it comes to certifications in our future roadmap, what are the plans, or we're hearing chattering about Google Meet Anywhere and that really exciting deployment system. So whether it's Site or the rest of our portfolio, what are the plans to integrate with Google Meet Anywhere?
So Google Meet Anywhere was a recent announcement from Google around kind of adopting the appliance model. Today, obviously, most of their solutions are Chrome-based. Now they will be supporting appliance-based solutions. We have publicly stated that we will be supporting Google Meet Anywhere on both Rally Bar, Rally Mini. We will also be supporting Rally Bar Huddle for Google Meet Anywhere. Currently, we are actively working on certifying Rally Bar Huddle for the Chromebox configuration. And after we certify Rally Bar Mini, we will also certify Rally Bar Huddle.
I think the team puts a lot of work and is really committed to ensuring the compatibility, not only compatibility, but just the high fidelity of the experience with our ecosystems. So kudos definitely to the team and to our partner teams as well for all those integrations. Okay, I've got another question from the audience about environmental sustainability, and this is in particular to Rally Bar Huddle. So really excited to hear that this is our first video bar made with PCR recycled plastics. Henry, maybe you can speak to the future roadmap of what our products are going to do from a sustainability standpoint and what our commitment is.
Yeah, definitely. Sustainability, and maybe Scott, you should add some to it. This is to us kind of a must-have. We consider sustainability from the early part of the project. So before we design the product, we talk about how do you build this in the most responsible way. And I think Rally Bar Huddle is a really great example of us doing that. So the materials we use in Rally Bar Huddle are the most sustainable materials we've used so far, recycled plastics that we discussed. One of the things we didn't talk about was actually the metal, which is the low carbon aluminum that's also used to construct the device that's in there. But beyond just how we physically build the devices, the other way to ensure that we're building things responsibly is keeping up with software updates and adding new features. So that every time there's a new innovation, all you have to do is update the device to update it to this latest feature as opposed to having to rip and replace it with new hardware. So our commitment comes from not just how we build the devices, but also how we maintain them over years of ownership. And I think our CollabOS updates is a really good example of that. We've done, I think, 9 major ones. CollabOS 1.9 is a couple weeks away, and we have many more coming. So we'll do it both on the physical side, but also on the software side to make sure that these products have the longest shelf life they possibly can.
Yeah, and this is not only a product-based priority, but it's also a company-wide priority. So Logitech's been working on sustainability for a long time now, but we've been recognized recently as being the top, or actually the top consumer electronic company in the world in many cases for sustainability. And it's not something we're just doing a business case on or new to it. It is something that's core to our values. And we're going to keep doing more and pushing the envelope, not only for us, but also I think setting an example for other companies around the world and even sharing some of our expertise, because it's important not only for us to do it for ourselves, but to be able to show the impact for everyone else. So if competitors copy our approach, we're actually happy about that, because that means that we'll have more impact collectively.
Right, inspiring and leading the way for industry, not only in consumer electronics, but in our video conferencing space and to hybrid solutions in all sorts of portfolios.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. So when it comes to our future plans and commitments, maybe shifting back to Logi Dock Flex for a moment. So we've got a question about how does Logi Dock Flex and the software integrate with Outlook as a specific calendar or communications application?
So we don't directly integrate with Outlook. What we integrate with is the service provider offering it. In this case, that would be Teams, which then Teams as a service provider integrates, of course, directly with Outlook.
Right, so it's not direct, but through Teams and that ecosystem.
Exactly. So if deployed as a Teams panel device, you're going to get the exact same user experience that you have whether you're at the desk or going to a meeting room, one touch to book the space. And if you want to prearrange or pre-book the space, you can do that through Outlook or through Teams.
Is that very similar to the experience for Tap Scheduler, another product
Identical,
that you're...
identical experience.
It goes back to the consistent user experience again.
In fact, for the client, the software client, it's the exact same client on Tap Scheduler as it is for Logi Dock Flex, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe shifting a bit back to CollabOS and intelligence, Henry, we're building a lot of new great capabilities, not only into Rally Bar Huddle, but we talked about Camera Zone in the presentation, as well as Grid View. How is the team thinking about trickling down a lot of that intelligence into the personal workspace and into our devices like webcams or other personal devices?
Yeah, definitely. You probably have seen us spending and investing a lot more kind of intelligent features at the house, at the home recently. Most recently, we launched the Brio 505, which is our latest 1080p webcam. And what we did there is ported the auto framing technology that we've had great feedback on in the conference room for the house. So now you get auto framing at a pretty aggressively priced webcam. We've extended also our audio processing, so our right sound technology, our noise suppression that we've adopted in conference rooms. You're seeing the more of that show up in our headsets, and of course, some of that's in Logi Dock. But we also take another approach for the home, and we just recognize it's a different space, that it has different sort of use cases, different needs. We try to purpose-build something specifically for that use case. So I think show mode's probably the best example of that, where at home, I want to share something, a piece of content or a physical device, and what I can do is use the camera that's right in front of me, my webcam, flip it down, and we intelligently flip the image so that the remote participants see it in the right orientation. And we even adjust the image processing to make sure that we prioritize kind of content and object viewing as opposed to faces. So you're seeing both. You're seeing us adapt some of the conference room technology at the home, but also purpose building something as well that makes most sense in that particular use case.
Right, it goes back to kind of the user-centric design approach of what's best for the workspace.
Exactly.
Great. Speaking of design, when it comes to Rally Bar Huddle, June, what are the components or design features of Rally Bar Huddle that are really interesting and could maybe inspire future design choices for our conference camp family?
So we've done a couple really cool things with Rally Bar Huddle. First is that removable cover that you saw really opens up the possibilities for what can be customized and what can be put on these covers. I think everyone's pretty used to seeing the graphite and the off-white, but opening it up to customization is really a wide open field. So that'll be very exciting to see what people want and what people come up with to put on these devices. Also the privacy shutter. This is another thing that we're able to do with all digital, right? And so this is something that we can also transfer into future products if that's something that the portfolio ends up doing. Henry will tell us for sure. But these are both components that can easily be transferred into future products.
Right, I know for the privacy shutter in particular with Sight, there's that magnetic cover as well for those who feel like they want to video mute in that room or want to do an audio only call. So similar design features I see creeping from product to product.
Yep, For sure. It can be a little disconcerting to have so many cameras around. So to have a visual indicator of that privacy can be very important to some users.
No more tape on the camera, like it automatically works. It's all built in.
It's true. That's true.
And the same for webcams as well, in terms of the integrated shutter or kind of the lack of a sticker or a tape.
Yeah, also on the Brio that Henry was talking about, for sure.
John, maybe back to you for a question from the audience. When it comes to data and manageability, and when it comes to our service offering and Logi Dock Flex, we talked about telemetry in the presentation and insights. What do you see admins or management doing with the data that's gathered either through our own desk booking service or through partner applications, and how they can use that to plan for future spaces?
So the starting point there is really making sure that you have the right floor plan, the right resources for your employees. That can be more desks, less desks, more open spaces or collaboration spaces. But ultimately, that's going to bubble up to, do I have the right real estate footprint? Do I need as many buildings as I currently have, or can I downsize? Even at Logitech, we're going through a change in our headquarters, moving from a site that arguably could host 700 or 800 people down to a site that's a quarter that size. And that might still be too big. But now what we'll be able to do, because we will roll out Logi Dock Flex, of course, in our environment, we'll be able to actually know with real data, are we making good decisions here, and do we need to change? The same would be true whether you're working with any of our partners, of course, Zoom or Microsoft. Also, those insights are going to come back through Zoom Portal or through Teams Admin Center, being able to really empower our customers and the IT admins and the facilities managers to make good decisions based on real data.
Right. Not only validating whether Wednesdays are the most popular day in the office, maybe if, desks near the ladies' room are less popular, or near the window are more popular.
You'll be able to see heat maps, basically, of where people are actually using the resources. And you'll also, this is the other half of this, maybe not just the insights about how things are being used, but also the telemetry of, are things functional? Are they still present? Have they become disconnected or lost? Otherwise, basically allowing IT to get the same level of alert that they would get for typically in the meeting rooms or the other shared spaces that they manage. We want to bring that same capability all the way down to the desk, because certainly there are a lot more desks than there are meeting rooms. So we want to make sure that that doesn't become 10x more challenging. It should be actually that much easier.
It's probably a key point to emphasize in that there are a lot of docks out in the market, and we deliberately did not want to recreate a dock, as John said. And what we learned from a lot of the people who are listening here is that they were telling us they're kind of running blind, essentially. They didn't really know what was happening, and more, I think there are a lot of opinions about what's happening in an office, and the opinions were, we know what opinions are on both sides. So they said, can you give me some data and facts? So in some ways, we're creating a new category, which I think we're calling managed dock. So I think if someone just wants a commodity dock, this is not the right product for them. But if they want to have insights into what is going on in their offices and then figure out how to make changes, then I think there's kind of nothing like this on the market. And I think that's what's really exciting about it, is creating this new category, not just jumping into an old category, but almost reinventing it for what you need for hybrid work.
Right, starting with that blank sheet approach and thinking about the hardware and software together.
I'd like to add one aspect to it about the telemetry and products, or let's say peripherals becoming detached or such. We put an extremely strong emphasis on the security of the product, basically meaning that you'd really have to bring tools to disassemble or unplug a cable from the product. It's meant to be the first line of defense so that IT managers aren't running around the building fixing unplugged devices or such. So it's very different than the traditional docks that are out there, where it's typically like a bare back plane, just begging to be unplugged.
Right.
We did exactly the opposite.
I know you've definitely put a lot of thought into designing kind of that back hood and plate of Logi Dock Flex to be really secure, to prevent these $200 webcams that might be attached from walking away. So that's absolutely crucial in these shared workspaces.
Indeed.
So unfortunately, we're almost out of time. We've only got room for one more question. So maybe I'll end with you, Scott, on, I know recently you've been traveling around Asia and visiting teams there. What is different about hybrid work and hybrid themes in Asia versus North America or the rest of the world?
I guess the short answer is I just got back from a more than a week trip in Japan and Hong Kong. And I think the conventional wisdom might be that a lot of this flexible work and hybrid work and remote work is really a Silicon Valley thing or a tech thing. And I think what was fascinating is that, especially in Japan, the employees were really embracing remote work and hybrid work and pushing back on this idea that there are mandates, they had to go to the office and there's only a certain way of doing things. And then even some of the people I had meetings with, they were coming in t-shirts and sneakers. Kind of blows our mind for what you expect for the office work in Japan. So I would say this is a phenomenon that's happening all around the world. And we're moving to this world where work is happening everywhere, not just, work is not in a place, it's a thing that you do. And I think if you think about it that way, then we need a whole way of thinking about how do you do work and how do you solve these problems, and why I'm super excited about what we're launching today, both in the conference room and in FlexDesk, and really pushing the envelope for the way the entire world is working. And we're on the forefront of that, and I'm super excited to see what feedback we're going to get from everybody listening here.
Yeah, I think a great opportunity for us to introduce our very innovative and user-centric approach to flexible spaces and shared spaces, and help a lot of our customers and audience out there solve a lot of these complex hybrid work challenges. Great. Well, thank you so much for the great questions that you've submitted. I know a lot of you were busy entering and engaging in our chat today. As a reminder, if you'd like to revisit any part of the pre-recorded session, remember to revisit the Attendee Hub for that portion or the Q&A today. As well, you can find more information there about how you can go home with your very own personal collaboration device, and also give us feedback via the survey. So once again, thank you so much for your time and tuning in today, and I wish you the great rest of your day.